Good morning, traders. Are you guys ready for some trading action? I know I'm feeling good this morning. And why am I feeling good? Because beep, beep, beep. Cybertruck backing it up, baby. Tesla held overnight. Not mad about it. We're up to 249. Find out where my entry was yesterday. If you were here, you probably already know. But I'll tell you one thing. Hit the like. Let's get it started. It's live trading with Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Good morning. All is right. Let's get to the action. Let's get to the trading action. Like always, guys, smash the like. I got my man Ryan Faluna joining me. We'll get to the stock market. Let's see what else is going on. We are started up Don Mafia. So if you don't see us in a second, let me know. Sorry for a little bit of a late start here. Normally we start at 9:10, but pre-market prep went a little extra. Had a little bit of a nice trading question at the end there to ask Dennis. And I definitely take advantage of the moments where I get Dennis alone. So it was good to have that conversation. Let's get to the action today. What's running the boat right now, of course, GDP coming in, and it actually caused a negative reaction when it was a positive number. Wouldn't you know it? The market always likes to shake things up. We'll keep an eye out on the TLT, the SPY, the Qs today. We'll see what happens with that situation, and we can talk a little bit more about that. But I'm going to go right to the trade of the day, at least continuing for me. I'm still in Tesla, guys. I only have 25 shares left. Originally, I had 75, what you guys saw. Eventually added 20 more, so I got all the way up to 90. And then I sold majority of it as it kept going, right? It was a nice breakout for me. And now I'm in that position of strength. You guys see the stop loss, break even. It's right there, just sitting there. And now trying to expand this win today. We'll see what happens on Tesla. I'm looking for a little bit more, maybe 253s, 254s. I don't think we'll get to the 260s today. So somewhere in the, if I can get close to that mid 250s, yeah. I'm willing to take it off and just get out of it today versus even waiting till tomorrow news. When that hits, that's going to be at noon, right? The Cybertruck event. That's why I played it. I gave you guys the insight way before I went after it. The only thing that helped me in Tesla was going at it really slow. If I didn't do that, I would have got wrecked yesterday. I would have probably stopped out and seen it go higher. And we all know how frustrating that can be. I'm going to keep taking trades today to see what happens in different stocks. There's a lot of stocks on the radar today. And VSCO does report tonight. This is one that we've been keeping an eye on in retail. Has been a monster move there. We'll find out what happens there. And of course, I'll keep watching oil to see what happens in that situation. We're right back up there towards the 85 spot. So now it's really important to kind of see what happens today. Do we go back up through 85.50s or back down to the 83s today? Something to keep your eyes out. Of course, OPEC Plus going to be in the morning tomorrow. So this could all change by tomorrow's open. We could get downside, and then who knows, maybe a gap up. So just be careful out there, traders, if you guys are trading some oil names. All right, like always, smash the like. We'll see what else is going on in the market today. And Kel, pre-market prep was awesome today. I'm glad you enjoyed it, my friend. That's what we try to do here at Benzinga. And now we're going to try to get you to enjoy some live trading action. Of course, you guys smash the like if you guys are enjoying the show. Let's go to Ryan. Let's take a look at what stocks he's looking at today. And of course, I'll mention some other names, but just wanted to call out that Tesla trade. We'll see what we do with it here out the open, and definitely in a position of strength now. And sometimes I know a lot of traders say you need a lot of share size to make money. Another clear example here, 25 shares, making me a pretty good amount there in Tesla. We'll find out what happens. All right, let's go to my man Ryan, and we'll bring up some Benzinga Pro action. And of course, we got the stocks of the day. Just to give you guys a little bit of a preview of what we'll be looking at.
Let's do those first. Let's do the stocks of the day from Trade the Pool first, just in case. I don't want to forget about it and not mention it.
No worries. This is going to be Palantir, GME, and General Motors. Yesterday, we were laughing a little bit at GME, but it was nothing to laugh at as, man, what a move there, guys. And this is the reason why I even went long AMC yesterday and should have maybe just gone with the GME move because that really was the runner. And, man, this thing's up at 15, guys. Yesterday, this thing was all the way down there towards like $12. This is a monster move and a lot of volume coming in here. I heard that Roaring Kitty was a part of this. So meow out there. We'll find out what happens today. Can it get through the support 1460s resistance up towards 1580s? Can it do a kind of like day two move? We'll find out today. I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to go shorting GME today. That seems like a recipe for disaster. I could go long GME today, but I ain't going to go short it. AMC, I went after it yesterday, was able to make like 30, 40 bucks on that trade. It wasn't a lot. It just didn't want to really move. And I'm glad I got out of it because later in the day, it started to just come down. So it was smart to just maybe take the small little gain that I got yesterday and got the hell out. But after hours, it did get a pop. It started popping. Let's see if that gets above 715. If there's more of the dash for trash trade, GM this morning in the news, of course. Why are they? Because of a nice buyback mention. And of course, they released guidance. So that's definitely given GM a lift. That's why I don't feel too bad about having Tesla either, because if the auto manufacturers are going to lift today, like you're seeing Ford lift also, I think what happened here in GM actually helps my Tesla trade. So that actually, I think, is a reason why I'm not seeing pretty much any dip on the overnight action there in Tesla. We'll find out what happens to that one. And the last one here, Palantir. We'll find out what happens to the AI name that is Palantir. Of course, more in the defense space, but technology stock, right? It has pulled back towards the 19, bounced off of that yesterday. Can we make the move right back? I'll go to the weekly and kind of show you guys exactly where we kind of been battling. We came back up from this 15, finally got through the resistance. Now it's trying to reload at this prior resistance. And try to act as support. So that's kind of the level that I would be watching right now to see if it can just hold that 19 and start making its way back to this wick right here. This wick is towards a high of 2024. Let's see if we can get back to that level and start pushing towards yesterday's high of 2185. We'll see what happens there on Palantir. And like always, these stocks are brought to you by Trade the Pool, the stocks in play. We fund stock traders. And like always, guys, if you guys want to check out Trade the Pool, we'll throw up the link. It's in the description below. And smash the like. Let's go to my man Ryan now with his outlook on the SPY and Benzinga Pro.
All right, so taking a look at the SPY here, it looks like we are kind of trying to trade up towards this 460 high. We'll see if we make a double top there or if we break out. If we look from the low here, the October 27th low, I mean, this market is just absolute rip fest. To me, this is way too far, way too fast. We are absolutely due for a pullback, but we'll see when we get it. I'm not sure that we get it today. I'm not sure when we get it. I'm thinking maybe mid-December, but at some point this market is going to pull back. I am still long in my SQQQ trade. I am underwater on my SQQQ trade, but I'm not panicked on that. I would be a little bit more worried if we see that trade on volume into a 14 handle. We're not quite there yet. So that's just kind of my outlook here on the market. If we take a look at the RSI, we're in overbought territory. I mean, to me, at some point, there's a pullback coming here. I'm going to do my best to stay in prior to that. Not going to get oversized on any of those market short positions. That's how you get blown up. That's how you get taken out. So I'm just actually going to wait for this to turn around. Now, looking at the movers, there are a couple of things here. First of all, before we go through some of the stocks that are gapping, VT, this is actually one that we've traded here before. This worth watching. It's a really, really ugly chart, but worth watching for a potential short squeeze as the short interest is crazy. This actually is much higher. I'm not sure why this is blank. 14 days to cover. I think that this is much, much higher. But in any case, this is a recent reverse split. this may go, this may squeeze, something to keep on your radar. Don't know if we'll see it here today, but just wanted to mention it. Some other stocks that are really kind of ripping here today that are worth mentioning are going to be GM. All right. I saw that Jay mentioned this earlier here. Jay Wild mentioning GM, Ford, and Tesla here. We take a look at GM Catalyst. GM shares are trading higher after the company reiterated 2023 earnings guidance, announced a $10 billion accelerated share repurchase program, and a 33% dividend increase. You can see the market is absolutely liking this. We were just under $29. We're now printing 32s. We'll see if this pulls back. The chart on Ford looks very similar to this. This is obviously doesn't move as much, but the stock was about 1040 yesterday, 1080 here. The interesting part on Ford is that this looks like it's trying to make it back to this channel. Let me show you this channel. I actually have that chart saved here. So here we go. Looks like Ford is actually trying to trade back into this shaded channel here. I'll adjust the drawing when it actually makes its way back in there. The one thing that we've seen here is when it's in this channel, this support is along, and anywhere up near the top here is a potential short. The stock oscillated back and forth. Let's see if we can get back in here. Mitch already covered Tesla. Mitch is in Tesla. We're going to be looking at Tesla today, so I'm sure we're going to get back to that. Now, as far as the movers tool goes, let's take a look at some of the stocks that are gapping and may have some momentum for the day trade here today. First one is going to be ticker VVOS. This is Vivos Therapeutics. Stock was in the 4 handle yesterday, and it's currently printing mid-12s. So this stock extremely extended here. There was a piece of news on this. They received first ever FDA 501k clearance for an oral device treatment of severe obstructive sleep apnea. I would imagine that I'm not familiar with sleep apnea myself, thankfully, but I would imagine that this is treatment for this is sought after. I can see why this is moving. I just want to reiterate how careful we should be. Stock is currently up 182%. This was up over 200% at one point earlier this morning, 225% at the highs. So we should be able to trade this technically. I mean, if we zoom in here, you can see we did already make a move back to the VWAP. Off the first pop, we came back to the VWAP, rode it, extended. We actually took another trade back down towards the VWAP and bounced. Let's see what happens the third time when the market actually opens. This is leaking from the highs, but again, still up 173%. So just an absolute rager here, VVOS. That is definitely going to be in play. Holdover from yesterday is also going to be back in play here today. This is RDHL, Red Hill Biopharma. This actually gave a trade right in the morning, and then when it settled back in, it did nothing for probably 70% of the day, and then in the afternoons, it gave you another trade. And again, this is going to be triggered by that expanding volume. I talk about it every day. I feel like a broken record, but it is what it is. The volume is going to be your second most important indicator behind price, in my opinion. That is, you're seeing it again here on Red Hill. Now, in the pre-market here, we did pop as high as 4. We came all the way back down to 3. It does look like we're trying to retake the VWAP here. So let's see what happens. I do like RDHL here today. And then also, I think 13 was trading this one yesterday. So just huge moves here. We'll see if we can get that back. But I look for this to really kind of take 320, might even trade up as high as 350 or 4 if it really gets going. Thing I'm going to be watching here is the volume. If we take a look here at the pre-market session, you can see just how elevated that volume was when it really started to make a run out of the open. Let's see if we get a repeat of that here today. Next is going to be Rover. This is ROVR, and it looks like this just popped. I didn't check this one out this morning. What is this? Oh, it's acquired. Okay, so this is going to be acquired by Blackstone, $2.3 billion. Looks like this is just a buyout, so maybe there isn't going to be a trade here. Congrats if you're in this. Looks like a nice little premium there. Actually didn't see that one. And then GME. GME, right? So we're talking about this one. I'm with Mitch on this one. There's absolutely no way I would short it. It's unlikely that I'm going to trade it to the long side. But if you're going to do this, gotta be nimble, gotta stay on technicals. I don't understand why this is moving. We actually talked about this in the happy hour yesterday. Don't understand the business model. Don't understand what the big deal is here. Didn't understand it the last time, and we saw what it did. So let's see what happens here on GameStop. Would love to hear for any of you that are trading it. That would be that'd be interesting. Foot Locker here. Don't they have earnings? Earnings this morning. Conference call is ongoing. Foot Locker here. Again, this is part of the retail trade. I know Mitch was all over this. Foot Locker beat here, trading higher. Let's see if we get a little bit of a gap and go out of this. That's about all I have. I see David mentioning CleanSpark. CleanSpark is trading up here after a wild day yesterday. Didn't see any news here this morning. Yeah, I don't see anything fresh on CleanSpark. We'll see what happens. Market opens in less than 10 seconds. Let me go ahead and get my relative volume scanner all set to go. Shopify also gapping up here, by the way, right up to the intraday highs from the day before yesterday. Okay, we're open. Let's see where we go. I'm going to take a look at RDHL here first. See if that reclaims its VWAP. Let's take a look at VVOS. ICCM holding pre-market level. See if that gets rolling here today. Still looking around. VVOS, that might be coming back into the VWAP here. Sure looks like it. Looking around. Okay. Okay, Apple ripping towards the highest. Tesla coming in. Hopefully Mitch is okay on that Tesla trade. Foot Locker appearing on the relative. But this might be a gap and go here on Foot Locker. Good morning, Mystery Man. CDIO, how's that doing, Carm? CDI, that was a rager recently. CDIO, this trading up here actually had a decent opportunity yesterday. Let's see if we can actually get through this here. 260 would be a spot. I don't have the level 2 loaded up here. VVOS, that is actually spread quite a bit here. That's coming back into the VWAP. You might get a VWAP bounce on VVOS. We'll see. CDIO, this is still moving here. Where's GME trying to take that 16 handle? Okay. MNY in at 4.3. SB is that SS trades, excuse me. MNY. I don't think I'm familiar with that one. Popping here. What's going on with this? So they had earnings yesterday after hours. Okay. Ford trying to take that 11. Yeah, Cal, that's really good warning there. With all of these high-flying small caps, really, really have to be wary of the potential offering, especially if you hold that overnight. That's one of the reasons why I just use these as vehicles and don't hold them overnight, by the way. Market continuing to move higher here off that opening print. Not good for SQQQ. I'll let you know when I make a decision on that. Still holding it negative at the moment. Thankfully, I'm being completely, in fact, I'm in the green. So it's not really taking me down at all. Jay's INDI popping here a little bit today. Right out of the open. There you go. Take a look at what else is coming on here. You guys are looking at that penny CPHI. VVOS, this is actually a decent bounce off the VWAP here. This did come into the VWAP and bounced. See if it can take out the highs of these candles. I think this probably can go to 14. Let's see if it's got the strength to do that. Decent volume here on VVOS, holding up here so far. HNRA, Smoke Tuna. Good morning, by the way, Tuna. I'm mentioning HNRA. Let's see, I don't really see an entry here yet. I guess I should look up my trade the pool. Yosh popping here. Oh, this was halted. Yosh popped into a halt here, halted 662 on Yosh. I feel like we've traded Yoshiharu. I feel like we've traded this one before. Maybe. This seems familiar here. QuantumScape, nice move out of the gate here. EVOS going higher here, it looks like. Oh, no, pulling back. Okay. Pulling back up. It actually did break those highs and then immediately pulled back. Let's see where that stabilizes. Morning, Andy. Mighty Soldiers Trades joining us here this morning. What are you seeing, Andy? So great to see you this morning. So great to see you this morning. Jay says the IWM is ripping. I'll take that. Take that. Most of my portfolio is smaller stock. I'll take the IWM ripping. Let's go. Let's go. Netflix big down candle. Several of them. IWM would really like to see a nice little break above here. Okay. See if IWM breaks out. I need Mitch back because I got to handle something. Hopefully he gets back soon. Mighty Soldier saying I grabbed WHLR this morning. Saw that was on there. This is the real estate trust. Okay, Mitch, I need a sec here to handle something real quick.
Go for it, my friend.
I don't need to dip. I just need to.
You're good. I'm looking at Tesla here, guys. It's nice little pop out the gates. We got up there towards 252. We're at 251 now, up about 330 on this. Just want to see if we can get to maybe like 254s, 255s. If I can get there, I'm going to sell it all and just run, team. So let's see what happens here. Definitely keeping an eye on it. Red to green move, but that's actually a good sign here. I'm seeing also a stock from my man Wisdom, Bulk Carrier shipping stock that looks actually not too bad here to maybe play it on the day. SBLK on that one. I'm getting an alert. So we'll see what happens on that one. See if it can really get strong. It doesn't look too bad there. We'll see if Starbuck and some of these shippers can make a move. Intel, yeah, that one's a little bit of an annoying one. Broken profit. I played this twice on the upside, and I didn't keep it on the recent move, and now it's up there towards 45. I mean, it's definitely starting to kind of change up the tunes here. It's all the way up there towards a major resistance here on the monthly. So maybe today's that kind of topping action. We'll see if we get above that, but definitely it's been a hot stock as of late and a big push from that 37 where I've sold it multiple times. Looks like maybe I should have held it on the recent 32 attempt on that downside, but he's been doing pretty well. All right, let's go to the sectors in the industry. And what do I see? Technology up. Only thing down is energy. Is XLE taking that hit today? Let's see it here. It's starting to cut that 84s, and it's been down from the open here. So not too bad there, and a nice little VWAP rejection there. So we'll see if this can continue leaking here. It doesn't look bad. I missed the VWAP fade off 85s, 8509. So I'd look for maybe a little bit of an attempt back here. I maybe get short this name, but we'll find out what happens there. Dun, dun, dun. What are you guys taking a look at out there, team? War is shipping. Okay. There you go, Wisdom. That's what you see on those. Yeah, you got to set those alerts, man. And Wisdom, you brought that up, and I actually set that alert because you brought up these stocks, right? It's not necessarily even was on my radar. Like always, team, I'm always going to be trying to mention things that I catch on my alerts. Like always, you guys take a look at the levels and see if you like it. one that's starting to finally crack. I've got this one wrong plenty of times, but I am starting to see the weakness come into it, especially today, is Mondelez. I've tried to make this play multiple times. Is this finally where this confectioner starts to give up? I'm keeping an eye on it today. It's dropping pretty fast today. So we'll see if it starts to come back to the VWAP. XLE coming back to the VWAP there. Keeping an eye on it. Let's see if we get an attempt to 85.25s and this comes right back down. Keeping an eye on that Tesla as it's pulling back here. Quick little pullback right now. As the Qs go up to 394s and then start holding here. We'll see how NVIDIA performs today. It is starting to get a little bit of a bounce, pulling back to the VWAP. Microsoft is red today. That led yesterday. Apple is up. That was a nice move, up to 192. We'll see if these stocks can stay in the green. And there's a lot of cloud stocks that had earnings, so keep up with all that action. What else are you guys taking a look at out there, team? DraftKings, Riot. Oh, you know I love me some Donkey Kong. How's the GME life doing here, guys? How's that GameStop? Oh, GameStop straight down out the gates, but a nice little bull trap. So if you're sold into that bull trap, you're probably feeling good right now. Let's see if this catches the dip and actually gets some love. Will AMC get some love today? Ooh, you can see that, man. AMC with a big move up there, guys. Through 7, up there to 734s. So if you guys were playing that rip, hey, you got it there. At least a nice opportunity. Will Wish ever get the move? When you wish upon a star. All right, let's take a look at Wayfair, hot stock as of late, and it's staying hot here today. Let's take a look at Shop. Shop's been an interesting stock as of late. That's pulling back a little bit here. It doesn't look too bad. Let's go to Coin and the Mara Riot names. Coin actually hanging in here. Mara is one that was on my radar. Did do a little pop above the 1250s, pulling back here in the pre-market. Yesterday, even this morning, it was up there towards 1270s. It's back down towards that kind of like 1225 level where I think you're finding some buyers. I might let it go back to 1225 and look to see if this comes back in later in the day, which is Mara. We'll find out about that one. If it could come back to the 225s, find some more buying, and then start working its way back. We'll see what happens on there. And then Riot's going to be a very similar name. We'll find out what happens on that one. Riot actually looking better of the two right now. So that one doesn't look too bad. I'd like a quick little pullback here towards like 1290s and then look to see if it can get the pop back through the pre-market high of up there towards like 319s. See what I have. 319s, yeah. 1319. Sorry about that.
319.
319.
I'm done. I'm sorry. That's just the
well, Jonathan Cooper did say hut, hut, hut. See what I did there?
Coin Hut Mara. That'd be hilarious. Right. That'd be hilarious if one weekend we just saw a quarterback call like Coin Hut Mara is like one of the line cadences. That reminds me of the whole dilly dilly thing from several years ago.
They gotta sell that sponsorship right there, man.
Sell that sponsorship. By the way,
Intel 42.
Becca mentioned COCH. I saw this. I noticed this is halted to the upside here. Let me get my chart up here. Here's why this is interesting. So first of all, here's your intraday action. We actually had some of this yesterday. Part of me wonders if this is people front loading this for the move here today. This popped into a halt, but when we look at the daily chart, look at this daily chart. This thing looking like this is trying to curl, has all types of range. 4 not out of the question even today. 520 something after that. I mean, this definitely, this is a SPAC, right? Envoy Medical looks like it. Really beaten down. Let's see if this trades back up. This is an interesting, I don't know anything about this, right? I don't know anything about this company. Developing and marketing fully implantable medical devices that improve hearing. Okay, well, that is an interesting chart here, an interesting action here today. Becca, really appreciate you bringing this to the table. See if this sets up for a potential entry.
Hell yeah, we'll be looking for some more trades today. I think it's an important day to try to catch some moves. We'll see what happens in the SPY and the Qs. SPY went up to the 458s, now pulling back, so that's going to be some opportunity to catch some pullbacks. What's in the red? Energy defensive. So that actually still looking good as a play to the downside. We'll see what happens on that action. XLE went back to that 85.20 area. Man, I got to keep my eye on this thing. I've already missed it twice. Opportunities there definitely to get short, and I missed that right there. I was looking for a move right back towards kind of this level. So it's just how it goes sometimes, looking at other names and trying to call out the market. Sometimes I'm going to miss a play. Clear example right there on the XLE. Should have just been watching it as it popped back there towards the 1820s, gotten short at probably like 1818s, and then held off the 1825 level. Already missed that though, back down to 8490s. I think this could go lower. We'll see what happens there. That's a little frustrating one. Got to look around and make sure that I don't miss any more plays. It's kind of hard sometimes, man. Trying to keep up and give you guys all the stocks that are moving, and then also catch my moves as they bounce. All right, we'll see what else is out there. I'm trying to catch some trades out here, guys. Tesla is pulling back. I got my sells out there. Going to see what happens here. We can finally get another lift here, but hasn't been too bad on the day. What's also doing well and bouncing back today is healthcare. We'll see if those can actually bounce back and hold the move. Cyclicals also doing well today. Auto and truck dealerships, of course. We saw GM and those kind of names getting a lift today. Carvana not having a bad day. So if you guys are looking at Carvana, nice little takeoff there to the 34s. Tesla trying to get some buy the pullback fills here around the 250s. At least that's what it seems like. Carvana, though, big move there, guys. 4.4% already. So not a bad name. That it looks like to me like they were going after a lot of the risk on type of names, like the ARKK names, and those are doing pretty well on the day. DNA doing well, Unity doing well. I know that was mentioned earlier. The chat all over that. TTD having a decent day as this one is trying to close the gap, and it's made a pretty decent move after the earnings. Square continuing from the bottoming action on 40, and it's just been a rocket to the upside. A big important day for it was when it gapped up. It had all that volume and it never went back into that gap. So that's going to help a name also like PayPal get the lift here. PayPal on the radar for sure. Just pulled back to 59, bounced off of that level. So 59 is definitely an important level. It's trying to recover VWAP today is PayPal. So keep up with those types of names. Those look interesting right now, especially as I see the Square chart. As I see one just continue to rocket, a lot of times the sympathy play is going to come into play. Snow CRM reports tonight. We'll see what happens. And
yeah, I'm not playing either of those for the. I'm not playing either of those for the earnings. So I'd want the earnings to get out of the way.
Yeah. I'd maybe play it on the day, but I would sell it immediately. And CRM is already kind of gotten a nice lift as of late.
And it's at resistance on CRM too.
Yeah, it's kind of late to play it here, unless you're playing it just for the intraday action, right? It's up 16% in the last kind of, 2 months or something like that. So PayPal, not doing too bad. Trying to keep going there is PayPal. I can't jump on it now because I would have loved that support earlier. So now jumping at it on VWAP, that's the only way to play it for me. And that's right below this at 59, 57s. But since it came back all the way to 59, I don't want to play it off VWAP. That's in the middle. Tesla, let's see if it recovers VWAP, 250, 57s, back up through 252s. I have sells already out, 254, 255. I don't mind getting the hell out of this one and taking the money and running. Looking around, team, trying to find some play.
How's GME doing?
Oh, probably finding
1520s. So we popped right out of the open. Big pull. pulled down to the pre-market low. We've bounced from there. Again, all technicals on that one if you're going to trade that.
Yeah, hourly support around 1467. I feel like that came into play. There's resistance above 1550s. That's another important level to get through. You might chop between 1550s and 1460s here. So understand that the range is easily there. What? I mean, you're talking almost a dollar. So just be careful out there with GME. Understand that it can easily move a dollar. And in the last 15-minute candle, it moved all the way up from 1638 to down to 1470.
SS Trade saying RDHL VWAP rejection 3 times on the 5-minute chart. Bingo, right here. So we talk about this all the time. We talk about stocks reclaiming VWAP, getting over VWAP. RDHL on watch here today after a big day yesterday for continuation. We're not getting it yet. And SS Trades on one of the things we should be looking for. A move above this VWAP and a close might change that. But you're right. 5-minute chart here. 3 attempts at it, just not happening. This first 2, they just didn't let it go through. This third one, they flat out rejected it. Flat out rejected it. So I'm going to go back to the 1 minute here. You can see a little bit more on RDHL. This again, one I don't want to take off, right? Because especially if we look at yesterday, right, there was a period in the middle of the day where it did nothing, and then all of a sudden it gave you a play later on. And I think it did that the day before too, didn't it? Yeah, I guess it was a little bit more slow and steady the day before, but nonetheless.
Important levels for me on that one to hold 265 to 281. You get a wick down through the 265, but not a close below that. That's yesterday's prior resistance on the closing candle on the 5-minute. I would look for that to kind of hold. I like it to now start to hold this 281. So holding that 281 on pullbacks here and then coming back through 3s wouldn't be a bad sign. It'd give you a nice risk to return. Not a bad level to watch.
I'm with you on that 265 level. If it gets that up, or if it gives that up, I don't want to be in it until it firms up.
Yeah. So maybe I don't mind maybe looking at it as a play of that they could maybe get in here 280s, risk off 265s, or you could be waiting for the 3 pop and looking for 3 pullbacks. That's the way I look at RDHL. Tesla catching that VWAP, now coming back for the push to the upside. We'll see if I actually get smacked on the upside breakout. We'll find out what happens there. ARM all the way up to 65. That's one I completely forgot about, man. I got to be honest about that. And that's been ripping, guys. Holy moly, man. This might actually get back through the all-time highs. Not a bad stock to keep on watch. I know that probably some people
Which one? Sorry, I missed it.
ARM. Yeah, I mean, look at the daily chart. The daily chart is not bad now, guys. I think this is something that we definitely need to keep on watch, guys. It's actually doing really well. The amount of volume that's come in it in recent time just shows me more and more institutional action, because let's just be honest, who's buying up 10 million shares? Probably not one institution, but that's a lot of volume that came in on this day, the 11/22. That was a week ago. I think that was institutions getting in there.
WHLR, that penny that you guys were talking about going higher here, JY on top of it. On top of it.
Let's go ahead and get your trade to pull charts up here.
Yeah, I was kind of watching VVOS, but it really was just kind of a slow melt on VVOS. It really didn't. The move through the VWAP on this candle here, there's just not a whole lot of support here. TGTX having a good day, back through that 13 handle. TGTX.
Yeah, not a bad one for a little bit of sympathy, Becca. Of course, not as closely related as GM and Ford, kind of to see that one. But yeah, you could play it at least for the day for sympathy. Lucid is doing the same thing, right? So not a bad mention there. Crassy, you're out of the Unity. Okay, we'll look for see if we get some VWAP pullbacks in that. How's AMD? AMD with a nice push, man. That's the next one that I think could actually have a continued push. Intel and AMD, I think, will actually probably. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say those two will outperform Nvidia for the end of the year. Why? I think some investors just want in. They're like, AMD has to start trying to attack what Nvidia is being able to accomplish here.
With what product, though? What product do they have that competes with them on that level?
I think
their AI chip is nowhere near NVIDIA's AI chip.
Yeah, but that just takes some research and investment, man. Same thing for Intel. And I think at some point, with that demand being so high, that's what you want, right?
The Intel I like. Intel, the problem with Intel is that the happy hour crew, they were all over this when this was in like the 20 handle, right around 25. It's almost a double from there. We gave it we said I think about a full year to a year and a half. It's not even been that. This was February earlier of this year. Intel already almost a double from here. I don't know where it goes from here. I do like Intel long term. That would be a stock I'd be more inclined to hold. I don't know. I don't see a bull case on AMD just yet. Even though I like the products, like I have the products, I use them in the machine I'm currently using now. I'm not sure on the stock.
Tesla, pay me. Come on. Trying to get paid, man. What can I say, dude? Let's get us going, man. I gotta do a little bit of some slow jams for it. I have a feeling that could help it. Nothing like some slow jams. BVOS halted. Okay. Tesla just chugging. Let's go, Tesla. Let's chug along, baby. Chug along. All right, looking around, man, trying to make something happen here. I'm looking around for some names, man. If you guys see anything moving, you guys want to call it out, feel free. Trying to catch, man, the Qs just can't be stopped. It is ridiculous, this rally. The sideways actually helped and gave it an opportunity to keep going. And those comments yesterday, Waller's comments, man, they definitely gave the market that hop. I don't think anybody was expecting that the Fed could potentially cut in springtime. And I actually don't think it's real. But just the mention of it, I think got the market hot.
It seems silly.
Yeah, man. This is how one person's comments can actually affect the world's investments. And I'm going to say the world because so many people invest in the US markets, right? And so that's how it is, man. Fed comments are so important to catch. And that was massive yesterday. That's why I went big on Tesla. I remember when I started seeing the action and then I heard the comments and I was like, okay, I feel a lot better about this big Tesla position. A firm touching VWAP, Gil, bringing in here. My VWAP's a little bit lower, but yeah, 33.94s doesn't look too bad. A firm's been hot, man. It's at 34. This thing was down in early 23s to $8 or $9. It's back up to $34. Wow, what a move there. CVNA that we were talking about it earlier, Carvana kept going. VWAP bounce on that one. Beautiful play off kind of the 33.26 area. It went to 33.28, just 2 pennies off of the VWAP, and then kept going higher to 35. So nice move there on Carvana if you were able to catch it. A lot of the junk names getting the lift today, guys. So I talked about it earlier, and I'm not going to name this one a junk play, but it's a cheap name, right? QuantumScape getting a really nice move out the gates here. 615 to 667s going sideways up at the top. Doesn't look bad at all here. I've even seen like the LiDAR going higher, LIDR, that's AI Inc. Um, that's actually getting a little bit of a boost. And that's a 15-cent trade, man. And it's actually available here, guys. So things like that impress me by Trade the Pool that we're able to trade something like that. And even Sleep Number, as it gave horrible guidance, it's actually having a hell of a day here. You don't get to see that often. QS trying to make another move through 670s. So definitely the dash for trash is on, guys. And stocks leading the Qs today, CrowdStrike with their earnings continuing to the upside. We talked about yesterday with Zscaler. Jay, give you a shout out for that mention. And look at the cybersecurity stocks get the love today. CrowdStrike, did Zscaler continue to keep going? There it goes, guys. PanW. Let's take a look there. Nice day there for
Mitch. I need a sec. I'll be right back.
Yeah, by all means. All right, guys, we'll continue pushing here. I'm going to go ahead and bring down Ryan's screens here and just go ahead. Boom. I'll keep going and trying to trade here. Guys, if you guys see anything you guys want to take a look at, or maybe some of these smaller names, let me know. I'm willing to take some shots out there. COCH. Let's go take a look at that one, guys. All right, COCH bouncing off of this kind of daily level. It's interesting, but man, I hate stocks that gap up like this because it's easily just a kind of a pump and dump move back down. So that's the harder one here. It opened up towards the 340s, came down fast back towards the previous kind of halt area. It could hold down here. So I'm definitely not touching it. That just seems like a scary one to me. Tesla. I'm getting to the point where I want to sell it, but I just want to see a little bit more here. Just a little bit more. AMD continuing, VWAP bouncing off of that 124.89. That's why I like AMD. It's just been hot. It's really more the technicals and the story. But man, like look at this. This does not want to get stopped. This looks like it wants to go right back through this high over here at the 130s and look at the ride up. It's been a great ride there. There's Tesla now trying to get to the 253s. Let's see if we can get it. It popped right there and then came right back down, 252.75. So just wanted to get back into the 253s, 254s, and then I can sell majority of it. It's not doing too bad here in the 252s, so I'm just going to keep watching it. If it comes back below this 251.52s, that's when I'm going to start being a little bit concerned, maybe taking some profits and then holding on to the remainder. All right, Crocs Beast move. I'm catching all the action in the chat. Shot, says Smoke Tuna. Let's take a little bit of a shot on the shot. Let's see how that's doing. All right, that's actually not doing too bad. Nice recovery from the pre-market, which was not the best move there. But the only thing that concerns me is the lower amount of volume. But if it can hold 4, doesn't look too bad. Not necessarily the chart that I'd be watching, but hey, like always, guys, you guys determine what you guys are looking at. It's been a nice move on the 5-minute, held that kind of lows around the 410s, 405. Now really starting to push. I'd like to see it hold this resistance 422 on the recent action, just like on the 5-minute. Hold 422s, pull back. Now start pushing towards the 450s. Let's see if that gets up there. All right, guys, it's 10 a.m. here. We'll see if we start to get some downside action into the market. It did decline there towards the 250-250s on SPY and then came, or on Tesla, and then came right back up. SPY also kind of coming down here and then bouncing a little bit. Will we top out? That's one thing to keep in mind. We can always top out. That's one thing that I definitely would just keep watch. Looking around to see what's doing well. Look at Charles Schwab. So financials actually doing really well. To me, this seems like rotation from the bigger boys. They're trying to make the money back. in the financials. And look at this move here, guys, from 56 to 58. So I'm going to look for a big pullback here towards like 57.30s. Below definitely 57.75, but looks like Charles Schwab actually on the radar today. So let's see if I can get that pullback closer towards that 57. So I'm going to set an alert there, 57.41. RDHL, let's go back to it. I don't mind taking a look at it, guys. It's coming back through that level. It did cut down like it wanted to get through this 261. Now it's starting to come back. So at this point, I could play it off the 280, 280, 275 level. I don't mind taking a shot there on that. So I just got an alert there for Tesla, though. I need to go pay attention to that first to maybe take some profits. Then I'll come back to this RDHL, guys. Profits over taking new positions right now because that's going to be very vital. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a 250 stop for some of this for the like majority of this portion, right? So 15 at 250. Let's go ahead and set a stop there. I'm going to do a stop limit. I want to make sure I get paid a good amount there. It's coming down fast, so I got to make sure I put like at least like 10 cents on this. No, let's go to 249 here. 250, 249. All right, there you guys see the stop with the stop limit already placed, and it's not all of it. I'll put another level below that at 249 to get out of all of it. So that's 15 shares there. Now I'm going to do the stop at 249, and this would just be a regular stop for the remainder of it. So 15 shares there, 10 shares below that, and then I get out, right? So stops are set. If it starts to come back through 253, 254, that's also where I'll be taking profits, guys. Now I can go looking at the other names. All right, there's RDHL, came back to the 277s, now starting to bounce off of it. Let's take a little bit of a shot here on a little bit more of a day trade position, but I know that you guys are keeping up with this one. I kind of like the setup here. Let's do 200 shares. We'll risk about 10 cents here. Boom. Just got in there, 284. Going to go ahead and kind of establish the risk. Really below 275s. We're going to get out of this. We're looking for the pop back through 3 and then the continued pop through 320s. Let's see if we can get that on RDHL today. Doesn't look too bad here. Now I just really wanted to start pushing here and getting back through this kind of 5-minute resistance. So you can see here that there was some resistance to play right around this kind of 326. I'm going to put it closer towards the 322 area. And this is going to be where we could run into some resistance. And we got to kind of break through that on big momentum if we're going to get back here towards this 4. So top profit will probably be up there towards 4 on the day. But that's if it really just starts getting running here. There you guys see the levels that I'm kind of looking at and really don't want to see this bottom level kind of break here. So this kind of 268, 267 level, if that goes, we definitely need to get the heck out of here. Let's see if this can really start making a move now. All right, RDHL taking a little bit of a shot there, guys. Definitely smash the like. All right, let's do this. All right, guys. I'm sorry, getting a little bit of a Slack message here, and there's always something else going on at Benzinga. Uh, give me a second here. All right, guys, let's see if this really could get moving here. I'm looking at Schwab. I'm looking around, guys. The Qs just took a hard downturn there, guys. So just to put it in perspective, this is a quick little move here, guys. We could see the SQQ start ripping on this, and I just saw that, right? So now it's time to take a look at NVIDIA. I'm probably going to get all out of this Tesla trade. I'm not stressing about it because I take the profits. You guys see a nice little profit right there. Look how NVIDIA came down on this. This is actually a quick little flip. Let's see if this really starts hitting technology names, and then we start to get some pullbacks in there because it seems like we just got a little bit of that downturn. And now the only question is, will it be an actual pullback, or will it be kind of something that is just a little bit of a fake out? TLT is staying strong, so that's actually interesting to see the TLT remaining strong and bouncing back today versus the Qs that just took a quick little downside hit there. Let me go to RDHL, make sure that we set a stop here because I feel like it's going to get hit here. I'm going to put 274, 274 here as the stop. That'd be out with $20 loss there. I just want to give myself the opportunity for this to come back. But the way that the market's pulling back here, I don't expect it to be able to hold this pullback. I think it's going to stop me out, probably get me hit at 274. And then it could come back later in the day. But the SPY is heading down pretty quickly here. So we're going to start to see a little bit of some pullback action. And I don't want to be in on this pullback action. I want to see what happens here if we really start to see the downside leak. Downside leak, a quick rug pull, it goes. That's how it goes sometimes, Elon. But we'll see what happens here now. XLE was the trade, man. This is going to frustrate the hell out of me a little bit, team, because I've been trying to get after this. But yeah, today, at least new trades that I opened, this should have been the area that I've been shorting. It's taken majority of the profits as we go back here towards through the low of the day and then holding the remainder to keep going. This is not a bad looking trade, but of course, hindsight 2020. Let's keep going. What else is making a move here? Of course, the SPY is coming down pretty fast here. Now it's kind of like, do I go and hedge a little bit? Do I go for maybe like a SOX S type of trade here? That's what you got to be thinking about. I've tried to play the SQQQs plenty of times through the 16 breakout, and it fails so often, right? And so that's one thing that I'd talk about. This just did like kind of a gap down. Will it do a gap down recovery all the way back up? Who knows? Maybe we got upside capitulation. We'll have to find out. All right, guys, definitely smash the like. A lot of action going on. So I'm going to keep trying to keep up with all the action, but definitely a lot of stocks moving around here. You guys let me know what you guys are catching in the market. Tesla still hasn't got me out, but it's like pennies away from getting me out. So we'll see what happens with that one. It bounced there at the 249.40s. I got some of it out. Still have 10 shares left. By trying to break down here. So another way that we could play this, at least in the kind of day trade action, right? Because I don't think this is going to be a big turn because, I mean, it just seems like the bulls can't be broken. But who knows? Maybe Max Payne trade comes on here. This is SPXS, which is, of course, the 3 times leverage S&P to the bear side. So let's see if I can get a pullback here to like 13 or 1305. Maybe that's one way I can play it. Playing it up here at 1310, I think would be asking for it. But support that's acting as resistance right now around the 1312s. Let's see if that can actually play as a little bit of resistance. We get a little bit of some pullback, reload at like 1305, 1303s, and then take off to the 1320s. But it's definitely pushing right now. All right, what's going on out there, team? RDHL looking like it's heading lower. 250 looks like the demand zone that will turn around, waiting for that level now. Hey, 13, that's more up your game, man. I wish you guys the best on that one. I tried to take it and lost 20 bucks on it. Not really my type of a stock there. And it could have just hunted me there, right? But unless it gets back to 3, I wouldn't be watching this. I'll put an alert there, though, to let you guys know once I see it there. Looks like some rotation from tech to financials. That's exactly what it seems like, at least with that Schwab type of move. But the truth is really how long will that last, right? Are they just picking up some financial names, taking some profits in technology? That could be it, taking some profits. I don't think they're taking the names completely off, though, because they need to be kind of propped, right? Window dressing for the end of the year. Healthcare pulling back, that could be an opportunity. Cyclicals pulling back here. Financials still at the top there. Utilities are coming down fast. Energy, another leg lower. Defensives, another leg lower. So that Mondelez probably actually doing pretty well on that trade there. Yeah, it came back to VWAP, rejected it, and now back down. So that actually doesn't look too bad there. I mean, there's no reason, I think, to be in these defensive names right now. So I'm going to look for a little bit of a bounce here to see if I can get it. Especially a bounce, let's say, back towards like 71.09. I don't mind risking off of like, let's say 71.22 on a short here for Mondelez. We'll see what happens. All right, tech. Looking at the Schwab, no pullback in Schwab whatsoever. Looking for some financials that kind of make sense to get long on. FAS, another way to maybe play the day trade side of things. That's the financial bullish leverage names. Looking at JPM, that's actually not doing too bad there, but no pullbacks there that I'm getting an opportunity of. Goldman Sachs on a pullback towards like 338, something that I'd keep in mind. But I'm just trying to find trades right now, guys. I'll let you guys know if I see it. Setting some alerts and keep on going, team. What are you guys seeing out there, team? All right, KRE ripping. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people buying up those financials, I think, for the end of the year. I think they'll get rid of them at the beginning of the year, but hey, that's just my outlook, right? We'll see if they just kind of play them for the end of the year run. I know Dollar Tree reported today, so let me see how those department stores and discount stores are doing right now. Discount stores weren't doing the best. Yeah, they're down pretty much. BIG and Dollar Tree not doing too bad, but starting to decline now. I think you might see some downside action come in those. Costco and Walmart back down. So who knows, man? Might not be the place that I want to stay in, as even seeing Target start to give up some of this gain, and Target's way up there, right? So it could start pulling back a little bit, as it does have resistance above it and just hit the 200 exponential moving average today. Was a good morning, gave back some gains, but green. Hey, that's how it goes. At least you're not giving me the fits today, and at least you're not sick, my friend. Fifth Thirds, which one is that one? I forgot the ticker for Fifth Thirds. Let me see. FITB. Yeah, I mean, not doing too bad on the regional bank there. And I think that this is going to give a great opportunity for me to short these regional banks over time. I'm not going to do it now because these are starting to get a nice little lift. But as these start to go back to, like, let's say maybe 52-week highs or extreme on the RSI to the upside, I'm going to start building a long-term short for regional banks. Just because you guys know how I feel about it. I still think they have a disaster in 2024. Get ready for dip buys in ARM and JBL. I don't know about ARM, but maybe JBL. Oh, JBL's getting hit, man. That actually doesn't look that good there. Go back to the stocks here and the Q's continuing down. So that's not looking good. SPXS not just went sideways there. Could make another leg here. So let's see if the SPY continues to crack here. TLT has stayed strong, but now starting to get a little weak. Now that tells me that we could have a pullback because the SPY is weak, Qs are weak, and now you're getting the TLT to start pulling back here. See what happens with that. SPY is still pretty weak here. Qs coming down fast. And don't get me wrong, if we start pulling back a lot on these Qs and SPY, I don't think the bank trade will even hold up for the day. But right now, you do have real estate, financial, and healthcare leading, and some names starting to trickle towards the red, like cyclicals, industrials are just slightly green. Let's see if those go actually into the red today. These scalers staying hot for right now. Starting to see some pullback really come into some of these names. Cat, pretty weak there. Starting to see that decline coming in also on the industrial names. Will Boeing finally take a little bit of a pullback? A little bit of a doji candle that I'm looking at right now. Looks like it's trying to pull back a little bit on the day. How's the XLI? XLI tried to make an up move, then got rejected, came back to support. Let's see what happens here. TLT just struggling here. It's all going to depend right now, I think, on how we come down. Do we keep just leaking all day, or do we finally see a rip back up? For right now, it looks like decline coming in and staying in here. Even strong names might start to pull back, but I'm trying to catch some names out there, guys. We'll see what happens. Unity has pulled back to this 3080s. Let's see if the bulls come right back into these kind of crappy names, or does it start to kind of get that next move? GME's coming down to 1530s. If we really start to decline on the market, that could be a name that could come back down. AMC's back down to 710s. If you guys like that name, it's trying to bounce there. I don't know if it gets to bounce or not. That's a little bit of a harder call. AMC, we'll see what happens there. I'll show you guys that right around the 708, 710 level. Let's see if this gets back up there towards the 728s. Definitely something to keep an eye out for. All right. Crassy, I think Ryan's actually and the team are working on the Benzinga Pro issues right now. So we'll get back to you once I have an update. But I do see that some people are having some issues in the chat. Hey guys, we're always on top of it. There's a reason probably why Ryan's in the background right now, guys, probably working to get that fixed. Ryan's the #1 proponent of having Pro fixed. So if you guys are having some issues with Pro, hey, I'm sure they're on it and should be having things resolved shortly here. BTC bleeding off. That's not a good sign, Jonathan. That could be some downside finally coming in also on like Coin and Mara. And it could affect them, right? Coin is trying to make the up move, but if Bitcoin continues to get hit, maybe Coin finally takes a little bit of a pullback. I mean, this does look extended here. I actually might go for a little bit of a short on Coin. So I'm going to let it try to do this like last attempt to break out above 129s, 129.36. But if it fails there and comes back through 128, that's when I might get short for a swing off of the risk of 129. So I need to let it attempt to break up here towards this upside move somewhere in this and get rejected. And then as it comes back down through 28, I want to go ahead and get short on it. It might just reject right here, but if I get short too early and it just pops into that, I'm going to have to get out here versus when it starts to turn back around, which I think that's what I'm going to be looking for. A little bit of a triple top and then get short on it. No issues for you, Francis. Hey, great to hear that Pro at least is working for you, France. Hey, and at least it's still working for me. I can tell you guys that. Mine, I have it open all the time from the morning hours until now. So at least that's working for me. Let me know if you guys need anything. Of course, I can cover it. I have Pro open. I see NTAP did well today. Rover Group. I didn't really think of Rover Group having a decent day, but it is. I used to love this stock, man. Did it do a split? What happened here in Rover? I need to take a look. This seems a little bit more story-ish that I need to take a look at. Man, this thing came down from $3. Came up from $3. Interesting. Mitch, I need a vodka OJ. Yes, but not vodka. I'm not a vodka fan. Wisdom. If you need that, hey, power to you, my friend. Can't do all that vodka life. All right, Rover is a buyout. Thanks, Jay. That's what it's all about. Let's go tomorrow. Mara's pushing here, so we'll see if it can hold here. It's trying to make another attempt to break through kind of the 1246, 1250 area. It did try to do another breakdown. Riot was looking a little bit better earlier. See how Riot's looking. It's still hanging in there. Let's go back to the Qs, see if we're actually starting to see a little bit of a turnaround. Not really seeing it, man. Man, what happened there at 10:02? Did we get hit with some action there? I'm trying to see if there was some Fed comments again. Could be some Fed comments. I'm seeing some Fed comments coming in here at 10. So yeah, Bosick saying says that 5.2 GDP growth tells business that they can keep trying to raise prices. Bosick says path to 2% inflation will be bumpy, but the central bank will get there. Companies' pricing power is diminishing. Feedback points on ongoing disinflation and measured slowdown in economic activity reported by Reuters. Of course, you guys can catch this. It's in our Benzinga Pro, so I'm catching all these moments right now. He says that he wants the option of doing more on rates if inflation flares up again. So that just tells me more and more. Now we're getting that hawkish comment, right? The complete opposite that we got yesterday. Let's see if the Qs do one attempt to flip this back. What do I mean by flipping it back, right? Well, one attempt to try to break out back to the upside and then fails. That's a quick move to like 393 and then gets hit again. So the VWAP fade type of move where it comes back up to 393, rechecks there. That's what I'm going to be looking for. We'll see what happens there. Sad day indeed for Charlie Munger. I put it up on, of course, pre-market prep. We gave a shout out. We went through a quote. So if you guys missed that on pre-market prep, definitely tune in the beginning of pre-market prep. You can cover that, Buzz. All right, what else is being out there? When the rug pull happens, man. All right, I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, he was 99. He lived a great life, right? Smoked tuna. I agree that he lived a great life. I definitely agree with that. I mean, hey, if we all reach 99, I don't think we'll be too upset, right? I mean, that's a pretty long life. There's a lot of people that have passed way earlier than, let's say, 99. So 390, 50, 391 50s. Will we get a little bit of a pop back towards that 393s? I think we could get it. And that's what's going to be the opportunity to maybe take a shot back on this SPXS or the Qs overall. Maybe it's the SQQQ. The SQQQ got up there to 1568 from 1538s. I would love to see an attempt get back down towards like 1548s or 1550s on a quick action move. Then maybe take a shot to see if I can get that. I'm just going to continue watching, guys. I still have some Tesla as this starts to move up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move this stop back up here because we could get quick downside action, and I don't want it to break these 3 wicks. So I'm going to move it right below these 3 wicks here. You can see 1, 2, 3 wicks here around the 254.60s to 254. Let's see the low here, 249.56. So somewhere in between there. I definitely don't want it to come back through. I'm going to give it the opportunity to hold that low and then come right back up. So playing both sides essentially here, and we'll see what happens. So much going on. Sorry, guys. I got a lot going on. Normally, I have Ryan to fill a little bit of this dead air, but I'm trying to keep things going here too, guys. See what happens there in Tesla. Like always, getting a little bit of some messages. I'll go to those messages later. They can wait for me when I'm done off live. But just gonna keep pushing here, team, to see what else I can get into. Let's see what else is going on there. Now PayPal's in the red there. Will this start to come back? And I think that that's one thing that we need to think about. We could just get this next upside action. Is this an opportunity to stay bull? I mean, that's the hardest part, right? There's no one way. Hey, Mitch, got to eat too. Yeah, man. It's how it is, dude. Yeah, you know, they're always going to want me, man. I'm here with you guys, so smash the like. You're back in you, reduce size. Hey, get after it, Crassy. All right. RMBS. Kenny Glick gave us a big winner. There you go. Kenny. All right, let's see what else is going on here. And it just seems like we're definitely getting this moment where you could see some pullback continue to play. And look at Square, that has been really hot. It's right off of VWAP right now. Let's see what happens here. Does it push back to 65? If it does, PayPal looks interesting there, right off the bottom support of 59, right? Is that an undercut and rally type of trade? Will Square go right back to the highs? Things that you can think about. I don't have the answer today. I can tell you guys, I'd be guessing, because it seems to me like the Bulls just have so much control that every downside action just gets bought up. But of course, we can't always remain with that mentality. At some point, that's going to break, but it just hasn't happened yet. Let's keep going. What else is out there, team? What are you guys trading? Any smaller names making a big move? Let me know, team. I'll definitely cover it. Is shot a good entry point? Well, Market Sniper, I can't necessarily tell you exactly what to buy or the perfect entry. But look, I was about to put Market Sniper in the chat. Let's go take a look at shot and see what at least I see on that. Looks like we did try to hold kind of this 410 pullback and then gave you that lift to 428s. But it's kind of slowing down and the volume is not as high as it was in prior days. That's what I like to see. I like to see the volume kind of stay around. To me, this is in the middle of this top to bottom range. If anything, on the bottom end, so maybe you're closer towards the support, which is at 268, or maybe up towards 3. But for right now, I think it's kind of in the middle. And that's the hardest trade there is to make when you're stuck in the middle. Definitely wouldn't want to see this kind of break through like the $4 again. If it breaks through 4, I'd be out. But like always, you guys determine what you guys are looking at. Bank of America hasn't run like the other banks. And why? Because it has exposure, man, to the downside that I try to make apparent. But hey, that's how it is, the team. It isn't a bad move on the day, at least. You can definitely see that it's starting to make the move. And if you look at the daily chart, this seems like an easy level for daily buyers to step in. So maybe a FAS play wouldn't be too bad here. So we'll see what happens, guys. I can tell you guys that that doesn't actually look too bad, at least for me. FAS, of course, is the bull financial from direction. You guys can see how it's staying hot here. We'll see what happens if it does make a nice little pullback. Schwab, did that make a pullback yet? There we go. Not enough. Nowhere near enough, man. So no pullback there for Schwab tells me something, guys. The financials are definitely strong. So, Jay, that might be exactly what it is. Looks like some of the issues have been resolved with Pro. I hope you guys are seeing some issues being resolved. I would definitely refresh to see if that has been fixed. Let us know, team. WHLR is tiny, but I have been doing well with it. Hey, we can take a look at that. You're on mute, Ryan.
What I miss? Probably a good thing I'm on mute. The amount of profanities that have been coming out of my mouth this last 5 minutes. What did I miss?
Well, good thing you were on mute, man. Fire in the hole. We saw a little bit of a downside quick sweep rug pull on the Qs, but it hasn't really completely leaked. This came off of comments that came from another Fed member, Ryan. We've been talking about how that's been affecting things. And this time it comes on the hawkish side of things. As Bosick says, well, we need to get inflation to 2%. And if we start to see a bumpy road, well, don't forget, we could raise interest rates. So you got one Fed member saying that.
So it's barking. It's barking.
Is barking? All right,
yeah, Fed's barking says housing inflation is still elevated while rents have come down. Housing prices are still looking housing prices are still going up. I'm still looking to be convinced on inflation, not willing to take another rate hike off the table.
Well, the Fed here is saying it loud and clear, guys. Loud and clear. The good old Dave Chappelle, gotcha. Because they got us yesterday. They're going to get us today. I mean, that's how it is, man. I personally think that this Fed conversation thing and that they can just come out and just say things and move the markets should not be something that is allowed. But hey, it clearly is, right? So we don't determine that, unfortunately. You guys can call the SEC, maybe if you want to complain about that. But personally, I don't think that this should happen. I think they should be only allowed to speak at like specific conferences or something like that versus just, I'm going to throw any comment out there. And next thing you know, I'm going to move the markets. Personally, I don't think that should be. But the same way that happens, let's say, with like big short reports and things like that. It's how it is, man. Like I always say, the advantages go to what? Probably the institutions there, not to retail. And I'm a fighter for retail traders, not so much institution traders. I mean, at the end of the day, they already have the advantages. I want to fight to get us more advantages, and that's the retail trader.
SQQQ looking good.
Yeah, not looking bad. But the thing is also, we get this kind of like pause right now, Ryan, which is interesting, right? Like, because I want to take that trade again. Like, you know, I'm a degenerate and I like to take it, but I'm waiting for the quick pullback, right? Not just this stair step move now that it's having. So a quick pullback and then the next spike is what I'm looking to see. Lynn, did you see our Tesla thesis earlier in the chat? Unfortunately, Lynn, I might have missed that. I definitely would have noted it if I saw it. Maybe I got to scroll up to find it. Let me see if I can. I'm scrolling up here. Dun, 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 dun. I don't think I'm finding it, Lynn. Think you might need to repost it. Unfortunately, normally I can find it, but I don't want to take too much time.
I mean, it's early.
Yeah, I unfortunately I can't grab it right now, Lynn. But definitely, if you want to repost it, go ahead. Matt saying, "Preach on, Mitch. Preach on. Trust me, I talk about it all the time, man. There's way too much advantage for big money to make more money. Let's get it back down to where it belongs, which is the retail trader trying to make money."
That's my whole goal too. That's like my whole ethos is leveling the table for the retail guy. Good morning, Jeff.
Yeah, I think it's almost like it's really sickening to me that how much advantages are for the broker are for the institution, are for the money managers, are for the market makers versus let's give advantage to the retail trader. This is why I want to see some better information on short interest. I want FINRA to report short interest for me every single week. You can't report it every day because I know that it's going to take some money to have that out there, right? It's data, it's important. You got to analyze it, you got to be right. But the truth is, the retail trader needs more advantages. This is why I say you gotta have your tools. Q's bounced, went to 392, but barely bounced at all. Sideways consolidation here. Now we're having like kind of like this little rectangle pattern on the Q's. And you guys can see the same thing on the SQQQs, right? It's just the same thing, but to the upside, right? So the sideways pattern right here. I can't jump in right here. That's the hardest part of this move. If I do, I have to risk off of 560, 8 cents, and then let this kind of work. That's the harder part to jump on. Stay safe out there, Lynn, if you're on the road. Hope you're enjoying it out there. I actually like being on the road sometimes. It's a good fun time to listen to some tunes, maybe tune out some of the world. So Lynn, you don't have to always listen to us either. You can maybe just put on some good tunes and enjoy the day. But I know how it is. I find it hard to avoid the market.
They're pros. Also. They're driving pros. They know exactly. They got it planned down. They're good.
Yeah, but that's important. I think it's important to have that plan. When I take big trips, I always like to have the mentality of where I'm stopping, all that. Let's see what happens here, guys. It's been a little bit of a shakeup here. And of course, the Fed coming in and doing that. And then earlier today, we got what? We got GDP that was really hot. At least I felt it was pretty hot, comparable. And look at the TLT. I talked about that earlier, that it started to come down. And there goes Tesla, guys. There goes Tesla. Fully out of Tesla, guys, as this starts to come down. This worries me here that you could get a bigger pullback on the day. Little part of me feels like flipping and going short Tesla here, but that'd be asking for it. I could maybe put up some of my reward that I got from yesterday and today. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth, man. The reason why is it, okay, so it expands to the upside. It could easily just come back down, right? About maybe 50% retracement of the recent move. So we'll see what happens there. Pump in fear hurts retail traders too. Last month was a good buying time when there were some that were extremely bearish. I agree, Caleb. This is why I always ask myself, what's the current environment and what would institutions be thinking? Big money. I think about a lot of the times what big money is thinking more than, let's say, the retail trader, because it can really help you. Mondalee's coming back here. Something that I'm thinking about here as defensives are starting to bounce. But I think if the market could keep coming down, defensives can probably get rejected. But who knows? Maybe they tried to pick some of those up also with this downturn, because that was already leading down before we had that downside action. Cyclicals now in the red. I talked about we had to keep our eyes to see what went red. Cyclicals and communication services going red. So be careful out there. Of course, you still got some industries in the green, like luxury goods and auto, truck, and dealerships, department stores, a lot of the retail names, right? Apparel, footwear. But if the market keeps coming down, I think that could change tune. And then those strong names could turn into weak. Let's see how the apparel stores are doing right now. Victoria's Secret up there to its 2350s. That has been hot as of late, man. I remember I was playing that in the 17s. Children's Place doing well. Nice little breakout there. Stitch Fix. AEO up 1.3%. Can AEO make its way all the way back? This thing got crushed on the earnings while ANF didn't. It's almost filled the gap all the way back. I mean, these stocks have been just crazy. Look at that Tesla move, though. That tells me that we could get that flush down, and it could have been a good short there, right? I mean, I'm not going to touch it, though, because it's a dragon. You can only slay the dragon maybe once a week. I'll leave it alone. All right, let's keep going. Mitch, what do you think the outlook is for coming into the end of November, going into December, then finally into 2024? Jonathan, we've talked about maybe potentially we get a little bit of a pullback as we have a little bit of a lull in the December holiday time, right? The first week of December, I don't view it as the most positive. I view like the last 3 weeks as more of that time where you can get that Santa Claus rally and keep pushing. So a little bit of a pullback wouldn't necessarily be such a bad thing. I think that we get a little bit of a push, a little bit of a pullback, then another push, and then followed by a decent January that will be followed by a really bad February is what I see out there. Reason why I think it will take a little bit. I think you'll get some new year people like buying up stocks in like the early January, late to mid January is where I'm going to look to start seeing some of that downturn and then start taking a bigger bet to the downside as I don't expect to see a good 24. Money Mitts, slay the dragon only once a week. Yeah. I mean, it's a dragon, right? You can't fight a dragon every single day, bro. You're going to end up just burnt. Big money moves the market, but big money isn't always right. I agree, Caleb. But the truth is that with big money, sometimes you don't even need to be right to win. That's the difference, I think, between retail traders and institutions. Sometimes they're so big that it's almost like they make themselves right. They'll use enough money there where, like you and I, we don't have access to that type of capital that we can just keep pouring into the stock market. Looking at SPXS, and it's just going sideways here. Very slow, though, and that's the hardest part. I want to take place in this downside turn, but with no pullbacks, very hard to do. And if I do it, I have to stay so tight. Like I talked about the SQQQ, getting in there like 568, risking off of 1560. Not 15, 1568 off of 1560. Well, I mean, hasn't gone anywhere in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. This is the hard part here.
Real quick, Jay, you were asking a question earlier regarding Chipotle food quality. No, I have not noticed that even a little bit. In fact, I was at Chipotle late last week. I think maybe it was Wednesday. I think it was the day before Thanksgiving. It's been fine. It's been fine and consistent here. Both the quality of the food as well as the in-restaurant experience. It's been quick. I haven't noticed any drop off at all.
I'm going to be the other side of there. I've enjoyed it when I have, but the last time I went, Ryan, and I went like, it was like just, I think on, I don't know if it was Friday or Thursday of last week. They didn't have cheese, dude.
Well, it wasn't Thursday because that was Thanksgiving. I have a hard time believing you went in on
so
Thanksgiving.
it wasn't Thursday. It was probably maybe Friday. But they didn't have cheese, bro. How do you go to Chipotle and not have cheese?
I've never seen that. Remember, Chipotle's ingredients are all fresh, so they probably ran out on a high foot traffic day like Black Friday. Seems like their logistics need a little bit better planning. Yes. I don't think that addresses the food quality that Jay was mentioning. No, I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, it hasn't been too bad. And the carne asada is not too bad either. Don't know if you've tried it.
No fromage puts. Oh, Gerald.
No cheese, bro? Come on, man.
VVOS halted. Nice call, Tuna. Halted to the upside. Right at that pre-market resistance, by the way, here.
Put you up, my friend.
Oh, look at that. No, yeah, that's the error. Here, let's do this. That was the error that got resolved. I actually had it in a different tab. Didn't even realize that I did that. Anyway, here you can see pre-market resistance is where this actually popped right into and halted. I would imagine that this probably opens higher, but it is the fourth halt, so we'll see.
Bourne says the one in Melbourne. No bueno. It's how it is a lot of the time. Chipotle's can be hit or miss, right? I mean, let's just be honest. Like,
I'm thankful that I've never run into a bad one. If that's the case.
That's good.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
That's good. The other day I was in one of them and man, I was like a little upset because man, they were taking forever. And then I'm wondering, why are they taking so long? Like the line should be pretty quick moving. I used to go to one in college days that, man, they served a lot of people really quickly. And then I find out what's going on in the front. There's always that person that just wants to talk way too much. I'm like, dude, you're in the wrong job, man. You're in the wrong job and you just want to talk to people and you're in a fast moving food line. Everyone was looking at her and they're just like shaking their head. They're like, this person just doesn't stop talking. That's how it is sometimes. All right, guys. The market is just on the pause. I feel like I'm on the pause, man, because there's nothing going on right now. It moved with the Fed comments, but doesn't want to move again. Will we just see some buyers step right back in? I don't know, man. This is the harder part. I'll tell you that much. Schwab finally pulling back a little bit. PayPal below that 59, so that doesn't look that good. Square now back to 64. Unity below that 30.50. Let's see if it holds. Kind of like there's a little level that I'd be watching, kind of the pre-market high of 30.38, 30.35 on that Unity. We'll see if it holds that pullback. That's not the worst looking chart here. I'll show you guys that. So you can see here in the pre-market, it had like some resistance. We'll see if it holds there, starts to come back. Market's just kind of on a lull. Like, look at the wicks here. And when there's that much wicks, a lot of times I start to feel like, hey, maybe this could be the push right back up, right? Wicks are tricks, guys.
I think the market is deciding right now whether or not it wants to take another leg back down here or try to go back towards the highs.
I agree.
That's the feel that I'm getting from where the market is right now.
And so it's so 50-50, right? Binary here. And I feel like that's the hardest part. And binary has just not worked out for the bears as of late. Doesn't mean that it doesn't work out for the bears today, right? That's just how it is. Don't order the new steak item. I like it. Lynn, looks like you didn't get a good one. You didn't get a good Chipotle. Like shoe leather. Man, you didn't enjoy that.
That sounds bad.
You didn't enjoy that, Lynn. No cheese for you. I mean, I can do without the guac, but I gotta have my cheese. Gotta get the cheese, man. It's all about the queso. Unity was a stock I've been buying below 28 when it crashes on earnings. Unity has a tendency of bouncing back, Caleb. That's a pattern that you've been seeing repeated. Not a bad one to keep an eye out. Palantir was on the radar this morning, of course, and by none other than Trade the Pool, giving it to us, letting us know Palantir, GME, and GM. Like always, guys, you guys can check out Trade the Pool. You guys see us battling with it every single day. If you guys want to go ahead and check it out for yourself, go ahead and do so, team. Just look down below at the description or look in the chat right now. I'm about to throw it up there. And like always, you guys can trade more than 12,000 stocks and ETFs, get funded up to $260,000, and go long and short some of these penny stocks. While you were gone, Ryan, I did try to play that RDHL, got a small stop out there. But hey, who knows? Maybe that one actually starts working its way back.
Remember with the RDHL, it hasn't worked yet, but remember you can wait all day and then all of a sudden in the afternoon, something happens and volume flows into it. So sorry you got stopped out, but you might get another opportunity later.
Q's starting to come back a little bit, but still staying in that rectangle. You'll see it in the SQQQs here. I'll just show you that. It tries to make its move out. And right there, you're back to 1560s. This is why I haven't taken the trade. I would probably get stopped out in between this. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. The quick little stop outs, just being stuck and not doing anything. I've done that too much in SQQQ in the last 2 weeks. Netflix down today. When's Disney gonna break, man? That retraced a little bit today. Looks like I missed the day. That was on Tuesday. Yesterday, Disney started to break back down. Might have missed that one multiple times trying to get after it, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. Disney continuing to break down today. We'll see if it comes back. It's SQQQ just going sideways, man. It's on the brake. Who hit the brake pedal?
Market's trying to bounce here, so we'll see it. We'll see if that holds up. VVOS halted to the upside. It looks like 16.
Okay.
Fifth halt. Wow, what a monster, VVOS.
VVOS, man.
Frank says there it goes, heading for 100. Nice job, SS Trades. Nice job on that trade.
Yeah, nice little support on the bigger time frames. I haven't seen it on the lower time frames, but nice little support held there. Got up there 16 on the day. That's a breakout. What did it do out the gate? Sideways action. That's actually pretty good to see, man. Sideways action, sleepy, not coming down. Always good to kind of catch. There you go, Smoke Tuna. Get that money. I won't be mad at you. GME, can this keep going, guys? I don't know, man. Seems like not the best day for it. AMC's back down to 7. I'll give you guys that. Unity trying to hold in here. What is going to happen here? Will we just see a bounce? TLT's coming back pretty fast there. I don't know if the Fed can break this bull market, man. And that's what it seems like. A little part of me is like, Unity doesn't look like a bad risk to return here. Well, let's take a little bit of a shot here. See what happens on Unity. It's 10:55, guys. We're going to get out of here in just a second here, but just want to go ahead and try to take one more trade here. Of course, I just hung out on Tesla, took some really nice profits today. So wondering if we're going to get this next down move or not, but Unity does not seem too bad here as the Qs start working their way back. I'm going to take a little bit here. I took 100 shares, just going to risk like down here towards the low, like 35s. So it's a pretty small risk. It's only $16 of risk. But if we go all the way back to the high, that's like an $88 win. If not all the way to the high is over 100. So this seems to me like perfect risk to reward wise on this trade. I think it's so important to kind of get that perspective, right? So I'm not even going to look to try to get 3150s. If I could get this back towards, let's say 3110s, I don't mind taking the profits. That's about like a little bit more than a 3-to-1 outlook. And you guys know how I like that 3-to-1 outlook. We'll see what happens there on Unity. All right. What a day, man. What a day. RDHL now starts
there
to move.
It goes.
It just needed me out of it. That's all it was.
Ridiculous.
It just needed me out of it, guys. That's all it was. There you go, 13.
Palantir calls.
We'll find out what happened there, but definitely a nice little push there. All right, Unity will.
That was
start
wild.
to move.
I mean, that's just wild.
Was.
That was wild, Mitch.
That's how it goes, dude. That's
how it goes, dude.
Red Hill, Biopharma, what a big push. All right, guys, we will be getting over to All Access in just about 2 minutes here, guys. We'll start to wrap up. But overall, I mean, great trade for me on Tesla. We'll see if it goes up higher later in the day. I'm not going to take another trade on this. I already made an amazing amount on this. And then we'll see what happens if it does continue. Of course, the event is tomorrow at noon. Don't miss that. Cybertruck. Whether you like it, don't like it, will it move the stock? Yes, it will. We'll find out what happens there.
And
we'll you guys know
Elon.
You know Elon, he loves to pump, man. He loves to pump. He gets that pump. So we'll see if he gets
NVIDIA CEO, two of the biggest ones out there.
You know it, man.
Love it. They love it, dude.
Yeah, I mean, and I can't blame them because they're trying to get their stocks to go higher. I mean, can you really be upset about that? No, right? I mean, it's how it goes, guys. But definitely smash the like. We've had a great show here on live trading. Like always, you guys can come after it yourselves. Trade the pool. There's the link, guys. We'll see what happens with RDHL. If that can keep running. Like always, Ryan, you're still hanging on to that SQQQ, or at least for right now. We're starting to get some of the downside. We'll see by the end of the day. Who knows? It could just be a leak party, right? Even with the Qs bouncing here, I'll look to see what happens at VWAP. Ryan, I know you've been playing this for a little bit more of a kind of like a weekly swing, let's put it in perspective. What are you seeing now? What are you thinking and your thoughts so we could wrap up the day?
Yeah, I mean, basically what I'm thinking here, first of all, I am playing this for a larger sell-off. I'm thinking that it's going to happen early, mid-December. If I had to put a date on it, we'll see. But I just think that we're so extended here. Let me see if we can get this working. There we go. We're really, really extended. I mean, even just a pullback, even just a reversion to the mean is going to make that trade profitable. I've actually done the thing that I've done the best with this. I know I'm underwater on it right now, but the thing that I've done the best with this trade is I haven't gone too into it too early. In fact, I layered into it. This is something that we've been discussing here in the chat, starting small. So the initial down moves didn't really hurt me. I should have added this morning. I didn't because I was dealing with that issue. But that would have made it even better. I'd probably be even better shape now. I'm looking for a sell-off. I think there's going to be a regression to the mean. Just look at this chart here. We're overbought. Everything's extended. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. I think we get it soon. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I won't stay wrong. But for right now, I'm staying in.
Love to see it, Ryan. And like always, guys, we're going to keep battling with you guys right here on live trading, of course. Do us the favor. If you guys enjoy our show, enjoy the way we come into the markets, just look down below and hit that like button, right? That's what shows Benzinga that you guys appreciate us on every single day. Like always, guys, I'll see what happens with that Unity trade. If you want to find out, of course, come over to live trading. Come over to Start Swing Trade later today, 3:30 to 4 p.m. And then, of course, we'll be taking a look to see what happened in the market. Did we get that downside action? Unity starting to work for me right now. We'll see if it works out, team. Like always, hit that like button. Buzz, everybody in the chat, Sydney, Wisdom, all you guys that were tuning in today. That's what it's all about. We love this community, a truly supportive trading community. You can't find this stuff, man. I'm telling you. I've looked around. Brian and I have been in plenty of different kind of services. This is the best one for us. I know that we enjoy your guys' support, and we're going to keep pushing forward.
Mitch, I think it's fair to say we looked around, couldn't find it, so we created it. Happy to have everyone here.
Boom. I like it. Fire in the hole. Indeed.
All right, Mitch. We'll see you tomorrow, folks.
Have a good one. Ryan's hopping out of here, guys. Definitely smash the like. We're going to bring on AB here in just a second as we switch over to the All Access Live. Let's bring on my man right now. How we doing, AB?
What is up, Money Mitch?
Hey, not too bad. A little bit of a shake there. Of course, you know, the Fed loves to like just drop in those little
what happened
comments.
there? I saw the market opened all up this morning. I was writing my articles. The next thing I look over and I see on the screen that the SPY had dropped like 0.5% or whatever.
Honestly, I don't know how people don't just track Fed members with like a microphone and just like run around them. Like anything they say, like we need to catch the comments because, man, it shakes up everything. Yesterday, we got dovish comments. Today, we get some hawkish comments. We'll see how the market shakes things up. But like always, I know that you got a new opportunity for us to learn about. So I'll let you take over and get to the All Access.
Let's do it, baby. All Access. This is your spot. The only place on YouTube you'll be able to go to get these in-depth interviews and all access interviews with company executives and learn more about these exciting investment opportunities. I'm really excited today. I'm going to be talking to Sean Dollinger, the CEO of LQR House, NASDAQ LQR. The ticker is up there on the top of the screen somewhere. If I can figure out which direction. There we go. It's up to the left for me, even though it's on the right on the screen. Confusing. But anyway, LQR doing some very cool things in the industry of alcohol and spirits, something I know actually nothing about. So I'm excited to learn more about that industry today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring my man Sean on the stream. Sean, how you doing today?
Thanks for having me on. Everything's great.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear it. Happy Wednesday. Good morning. Where are you joining us from?
Vancouver, BC today.
Vancouver, BC. Cool. We're in Detroit, Michigan, so we're actually right on the border of Canada ourselves. I think a vastly different part of Canada, but you know,
Definitely. Not too
yeah,
far.
because Vancouver's on the west side, right? You're all the way over there.
Yeah, probably a few hour flight from you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, then it's probably a couple hours earlier for you. So thanks for joining us early. It's about 11 a.m. here. So before we get started, Sean, why don't you just give us a brief overview of LQR?
So a lot of people don't know we're one of the leading alcohol marketplaces online. So behind a company like Drizzly that was bought by Uber for $1.2 billion, and then Reserve Bar, CWspirits.com kind of sits as the third largest e-commerce platform out there. So people could go and buy a $10 bottle of alcohol all the way up to a $5,000 bottle of alcohol and get it delivered to their doorstep. And we also have a full influencer marketing network that we developed from the ground up to 550 plus influencers. And I'm sure, as you know, Aaron, the power of influencers in 2023, 2024 is absolutely huge. So we take no-name brands and get them to go viral.
What makes marketing in the alcohol and spirit space unique compared to other industries or sectors out there?
I think the biggest thing is the saturation in the market. Everybody every week thinks they're coming out with the next greatest product, but how do they penetrate the market? We saw this in the tequila space. People bring out different types of tequila, with different twists, etc. But, if you have one that you love, how do you get somebody to try the other one? So what we're really great at LQR House is creating the brands that have uniqueness to them. So last year, one of the top ones was a cookie liqueur that looked like a cookie, the packaging, and it's called Bake Sale. It went from, decent sales to absolutely going crazy last summer.
Yeah, I'm always fascinated. I mean, you see the different marketing campaigns in alcohol and in the spirits industry, and some, that seem to just take off and do really well, and some, kind of don't do as well. One way we've seen a lot of companies try to get their name out there is through influencers. How do influencers help a brand get its message out?
So essentially being able to capture what they're experiencing. So we have like a jalapeno vodka, for example, being able to go ahead and record that and capture the experience and then being able to share that. So for example, if you go into a Total Wine, which is one of the biggest, B2C retail stores in the US, you see all these products on the shelf, but unless you've seen some type of marketing for it, what makes you reach for it? Well, for us, a product called Cocktail Caviar, for example, it's actually, caviar filled with vodka. That was sitting on Total Wine shelf for 8 years collecting dust. And then all of a sudden we go ahead, Lonnie, who's absolutely incredible on our whole marketing team. She works over at Disney, the bars, etc. She found a way to get the influencers to capture the experience. And then we couldn't even keep that product on the shelf. That's how viral it went.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. We've seen, not really in the alcohol and spirit space, but just the growth of prime in the drink markets through, Logan Paul and some of those guys. And it's just been an insane story the past couple of years. I mean, I know in the alcohol market, you see guys like The Rock or Ryan Reynolds release their own alcohols, and those tend to do really well. Sean, you just announced a partnership with Kylix Anti. Can you tell us about the deal and a little bit more about the hangover cure market? This might be a market I need to learn about.
So one of the big moves that I'm sure that you've seen is a company called Shot out of Jupiter, Florida. And basically it's a proven drink to make you feel better 30 minutes after drinking, brings your alcohol blood level down and everything across the board. They're having a launch party in LA. Their stock has gone from about, I believe, 35 cents up to $7.50 last week. Again, the ticker symbol SHOT, SHOT. So this company that we've brought on is a, competitor to them. There's a lot of different companies in the space. So for us, it's huge because obviously if you're coming to buy alcohol, why wouldn't you give some of these products a chance? So we're looking forward to perhaps bringing on more of these products, just because you know how it is, Aaron. People like different things. So we like to give variety. That's the idea behind the platform that we've developed.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, that sounds like a really good partnership. I might need to try some of those products out next time we go out drinking. How about your deal with the Cabal Tequila? How does a company get into Costco?
So what we've done is through a distribution partnership out of California and San Diego, the distributor is called Alpha. They've teamed up with companies like Garvey, who have the relationships with Costco directly to be able to deliver to their doorstep. So when we bring on a brand, for example, like Von Payne, which was an incredible product for Halloween, it's gothic, etc. So they play off that. We are able to then bring it into California and then distribute to different Costco outlets throughout California.
Well, yeah, I mean, again, congratulations on that that partnership. Getting into Costco, that's got to be one of the biggest steps you could make as a brand, kind of, because I mean, a lot of stuff they have in there is their own brand. So if they're selling your stuff, then you know it's pretty good.
Yes.
You IPO'd in August of this year, and your stock price has had some trouble since then. Can you talk about the buyback and reverse split that will hopefully keep you in NASDAQ compliance?
Yeah, so obviously been a super rough ride that nobody could make any sense of. Our market cap is below the cash that we even have in the bank. On our balance sheet, I believe we have pretty close to $10 million right now. We have absolutely no debt whatsoever in the company. And then with the acquisition of the e-commerce site, our revenue is really going to start picking up here. And I'm excited to share that with the markets as it becomes public knowledge. We believe that there's short attacks out there. I can't share too much information on the info that we have, but we validated a lot of these kind of naked shorting, which, Aaron, I know you would know it's illegal, in the US. So we, teamed up with a lawyer. He had suggested to kind of do this buyback, which, again, we've shown to the markets that we've done each day over the last few. We didn't just pick up 100,000 shares. We've literally picked up a few million shares, which we disclosed. And then supposedly with the reverse splits, you have to get new QSIP codes. So what we've heard is that hopefully will change how shorters are able to short the stock, et cetera, because we know we have some really great long-term holders. We probably know where about 80% of the stock is currently, which, is unheard of for a publicly traded company. And we have great relationships with those investors. So that's why I'm saying we know a little bit more than kind of the average company out there, because we know there's only 20% of the float. And then how is it possible on a daily basis? Some days we trade 4 times the amount of the float. So not to get too much into the stock, but we believe that the future is bright over here, and we've done everything we can. And to answer your compliance question, as of tomorrow, we are compliant, because on the reverse split, our share price should go up above $1.50, which takes us out of kind of this red zone.
Yeah, I mean that's some good insights there, Sean. I'm glad we were able to touch on that. The stock market, the capital markets can often be kind of a cruel place. What about the influence of algorithmic shorting for small cap companies like LQR? Have you run into that? How difficult is it to reach a fair valuation with all these types of trading and computer algorithms going on?
It's incredible, the power. In the past, I've been on the Canadian public markets. I launched my first public company in 2016. We were the most traded stock in 2018, company I had literally built from my garage, and in Canada, they've done a really good job in closing that whole short position. There was a mandate done by IROC here in Canada that, literally any broker is completely offside and will not give any trading unless you could show that you have like a certificate coming later that day or the next day. In the US, when we started entering into the market, it was incredible to see how the bids and asks get pulled and put, and it's incredible. These computers, and now you mix in the AI into it. You're literally going against supercomputers trading. So we've definitely seen it doesn't make sense that a stock goes from 725, only comes out with great news, and goes all the way down from 725 to 3 cents today. It's just mind blowing. You know what I mean? So one thing that I've learned through the years, got to have thick skin, got to keep your head down. Some people are blaming us. It's like, what can we do? Why would we want, in the show before yours started, I heard them say, like Elon Musk comes out there and blows his stock up and they want it to go up. As any CEO, it would make me so happy to see a $100 share price in a company that I'm the co-founder of. You know what I mean? Like nothing would make me happier. So kind of hurts when people write in, but like you said, there's all these kind of algos out there, these shorts. So we're really doing our best, and we're going to keep coming out with incredible news. And one day, hopefully it snaps and the algos take us the other way.
Yeah, well, I mean, in Elon's case, that stock didn't do well for a long time until it did start doing well, and then now he's where he is. Sean, we're getting ready to wrap up here. Been about 15 minutes. Let me ask you for a hot take before we leave. What impact is generative AI having in marketing, and where do you see this kind of going throughout the next few years?
So we're using AI in a lot of our live chat, which is a lot of fun. People are going on there and playing around with that. We're actually working on something really cool in the whole influencer space. I don't know if you heard, Aaron, there's these influencers now on Instagram that actually don't exist in real life, but they're influencers that people follow that are completely made up. And the people who are controlling kind of the narrative around them are the ones who are collecting money and, referral fees and commissions. So we're looking to have some fun with that in 2024, where we'll be creating a AI influencer network. So, stay tuned to that. And I think that it could become really, really interesting.
That does sound interesting. Well, Sean, I've loved learning more about LQR House today on the show. Would love to have you on again in the future. Anytime you guys have some of those exciting updates and news to share with our audience. And again, thanks again for hopping on Benzinga's All Access.
Yeah, thanks so much for having us on. Look forward to next time.
Of course. Have a good Wednesday. All right, guys, that was Sean, the CEO and co-founder of LQR House. Again, ticker up on the screen right there, LQR. Doing some very exciting things in the e-commerce space for alcohol and spirits. If you guys want to go check it out. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I'll be back on the stream tomorrow. Maybe we're doing our some sort of a webinar, I believe. Let's see. I don't have the information in front of me, so I'm not going to get it wrong. But either way, tune in to come back. Tune in tomorrow. Well, actually, here we go. Looks like we're going to be doing I don't know. I can't find it. All right. Either way, we're gonna have more great content the rest of today. We're gonna have swing trading later on, cannabis. Tomorrow we will be having a webinar from 11 a.m. to about 1 p.m. So we should have some more exciting companies sharing their story with you. Before I let you guys go, let me just do a quick rundown on the market, see how we're doing. SPY continuing to move lower, actually getting back to about even on the day after ripping higher this morning by almost a full percent. Qs as well beginning to leak, and your Dow Industrial Average is still wow. Everything's up about 0.11% right now. I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, we got to close green today. I feel like it'd be that'd be the way to honor Mr. Munger if the market moved just a little bit higher today. But we'll see. Obviously, that's not what's going to be determining the price action today, but. With that, thank you to everyone who tuned in. Thank you to LQR, our presenting company today. We will be back live tomorrow. Peace and love, y'all. Oh, financials holding steady though. Yeah, it's like some value holding up for Mr. Munger. RIP to a goat. All right, y'all. We will catch you next time.